Well, greetings and warm welcome, my League of Eagles. Today it's Wednesday, so it's Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. Oh my goodness, and do we have a treat for you? We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and other social media platforms. I'm thrilled that you're here. I'd like to tell you and introduce myself. I'm Joy Ruffin, your Minister of Enlightenment, Awareness, and Awakenings, and your signature style and leadership specialist. The theme of the month, oh my goodness, it's an easy one. It's a season of joy and thanks. And it's a season to celebrate you. Yes, family, friends, extended, and all the others, yes. But it's the time to celebrate you. It's a time to pause, to give thanks, and to honor the light you bring to every space you enter. And today's focus, oh, it's a good one. I could go on and tell you a little bit more about, and which I'm going to, about our featured guest speaker today. Her name is Lynn Fraley, but she's here to talk about the girls. She's written a book. It's called Cherish the Girls. And so we're talking about breast wellness. And it's going to be an intimate conversation between you and I and her, but there's more to come that she'll be sharing with you. But for now, not to give you any more about her, because there's so much more to share, but I want you to just sit back, relax, because we have a lot to cover. Get comfortable, whatever that is to you. And let us begin by meeting our featured guest speaker today. As they say on the telly, I love saying this, come on up, Lynn Fraley, and welcome.
What an absolute, oh, may I say, joy to be with you today and to share the stage.
Thank you, Lynn. You know, in the beginning and when I was a young girl, I really didn't like my name. I really enjoy it now. So that was a warm, sincere greeting. Lynn, your background fascinates me because my love is for teachers, for nurses, the librarians, people like that. And so you are a nurse with a lot of credentials. Tell us a little bit about your background before we get into the seriousness of the conversation that we're going to have together today.
Well, I became a nurse so I could help people. And I had no idea what the healthcare system looked like. And I got involved and I thought, wow, how much do we not know about our health and our bodies? So I've been a nurse my whole life, but I've worked the trenches and I was witness to so much change and so many opportunities that we have for our own healing that it just take me to a direction of wellness. What I know for sure is that we have to trust our bodies, and we're far healthier than we've ever been told or suggested. And the
Mm.
body's ability to heal is profound. And it's so important that, especially as women, we recognize that and we hold that.
I love that. And you know why? Because you gave me something that ties in exactly with what you said, and we'll expound on it a wee bit more. Honor the body's ability to heal itself. And so, one of the things that you're doing, and by the way, you've written a book, which you're going to talk about maybe a little bit now and a lot later on, Cherish the Girls. Now, the girls has a lot of names and different nuances, but we're talking about the breast and how you honor that breast and get about to know more about it and how to take care is what we need to talk about. When you say honor the body's character to heal itself, tell us a little bit more about what you mean by that.
Well, I'll say I wrote a book on breast wellness. Oh, did you have
Yeah.
cancer? No, I did not have cancer. That's not even in my realm.
Ah.
It's not a possibility for me. It's nothing that I'm have any fear about at all.
Mhm.
But we've associated breast with disease, and that's part of a conditioning, very powerful, strong conditioning in our culture to not trust our bodies and to think that we may have illness. So, my book, Cherish the Girls, a well rounded approach to breast health and wellness, is a broad picture of that we have healthy breasts, assume they're healthy. The risks of disease is really pretty darn small, but we've been pushed to doubt ourselves. And it's really time to take a stand to say thank you for your input. It doesn't matter what is ever diagnosed. I've seen the body heal everything. I don't care if it's stage 4, I don't care what it is. The body has the ability to support healing, and you find the right practitioners for it. If you don't have the right practitioner, you find another one.
Yes. And you know, that ties into Lynn to natural healing, which is what you're talking about. And there are many ways that you can go about that. I love the way you say honor the body because we're talking about this beautiful temple, this vessel that we call the body. And it is our assignment to honor it and to get to know everything that we can about it. And if we don't like what we hear, to go someplace else until we get the right information, especially when it comes to the girls. How did you, and I love the way you share with us that people say, well, did you have breast disease or cancer? No, but what prompted you to take up this plight? And it is a plight. It is an awareness and awakening in many of us. What prompted you to do this? Can't hear you.
Oh, I had a noise outside.
You hit the wrong button.
What I witnessed was women being victimized, being basically, I would call it terrorized even. I call it a form of domestic terrorism, where women
Ooh.
are told to doubt their bodies, keep checking, keep looking. And I don't care about cancer, but I just saw how women were really taken advantage of and preyed upon. So I thought, I'll write my book. I wanted to write a book on touch first, but I just was brought back to the breast because women are they're misdiagnosed, overdiagnosed, overtreated, and they die. I say, take my money, just don't take my life. And
Ooh.
I just felt women needed to have the support to say, okay, just hold the phone. We're not talking hemorrhaging here. We're just talking a condition that some people say we have all the time. We all have cancer. It comes and goes. On an unlucky day, someone might be diagnosed with something and their life changes forever. And it's just not fair. What can I say? I'm a Libra. It's not fair to see what goes on.
You're in my ballpark now because I love it, and I know a lot of people don't and have no understanding or appreciation for it, and that's okay. No judgment there. But I know that it has merit and it works somewhat. But you said that you wanted to get women away from thinking and allowing it to consume them in a way that leads to death when there's so many other things they can do. So you've done a lot of research and a lot of work with this. And in your book, Cherish the Girls, which they can find, where can they find this book? Everywhere, right? Tell us where they can purchase this book.
Amazon for sure.
Yeah.
And write a review because the truth is
Yes.
people say, oh, I don't know, I like my doctor. I'm thinking, of course you like your doctor, but make sure that you have a provider who you can work with. Because I found after writing the book, people that still doubt, oh, they may not now want to take responsibility. I've had patients tell me, if I took responsibility for my health, who could I blame? If things go wrong, I'm thinking, oh, wrong question to ask. You need to just assume that you're going to be fine and that you find the providers who can support you.
Yeah, and you gave me something here that I think is very, very major. You said recognize the strong pressure to conform to standard directives. And I think we as women, because of all of this programming, conditioning, and the sexualizing, I'm not going to go there, but I think that really ties in to what you just gave me. And I think it's really true. Why do you think, with your knowing, that this is so prevalent among us women? Pretty much so.
If you've heard something 1,000 times, you know it's true because we've been ingrained. You've
Yes.
been programmed. Women in their 30s are told to watch out, and then when they turn 40, oh my God, watch out, and when they turn 50, oh wow. And what's the point of it? The risk is really far lower, and if you think you have any risk, you adjust your lifestyle and you can get rid of the risk. It's really being preyed upon, and it's a business model. Just remember, it's a very highly
Mm,
profitable business model.
mm.
And the other thing that, and anyone who's watching this, who's involved in sales or marketing, we end up in what I call a sales funnel, where you're sitting in the doctor's chair and they say, well, no, on Tuesday you can come back. And I'm thinking, no, on Tuesday I'm going to be talking to someone who can help me get my head wrapped around whatever's going on. It's really being empowered. And it's not just for ourselves, it's for our colleagues, for our family. And the family might say, oh, no, you should do what your doctor tells you. And then we're bullied again by people who are well-meaning, when in our heart of hearts, we're going, it just doesn't feel right. So it's really just like I call it a big course correction.
Oh my goodness, Lynn. Oh, you're preaching to the choir here. And you know why? Because you said something about the empowerment. There is no empowerment without liberation, which means an understanding and a getting down to the grassroots of understanding what it's all about. When you mentioned it's a business model and a sales funnel, well, we're talking about marketing that never ends. And our assignment is to be wiser, to get to people who give us another alternative or different ways, and then make your decision. But don't just settle on one. I think this is what you're talking about in a different terminology, different way, but that's what you're saying, because marketing and sales is very consuming. I have the same in the fashion industry. Everything is good for you, everything works for you, everything looks good on you, everything is right for you. And because we as women, we want that, we buy into that, and we're removed from that. So I like what do you think, have you found thus far when you have these meeting with women that you talk and relate to, what have you found to be one of the main concerns that they have about knowing and getting to know more about what they can do to prevent this type of madness?
Well, what's interesting is that alcohol is a known carcinogen.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone, first of all, I say if you keep looking for trouble, you're going to find it. Get these, who makes up these exams? People, we know that women who have mammograms end up having more cancer, and that the mammograms contribute to cancer, and that they overdiagnose and they overtreat, and they've diagnosed something that would never in their lifetime have been a problem. If 45% of women upon autopsy are shown to have a condition that they call cancer, which is stage 0 DCIS, ductal carcinoma in situ, which is another one of these misnomers. The whole thing
Mm-hmm.
is confusing. So I find women are confused, and they need support in trusting that they're healthy, and that should something ever show up, there are fabulous supporters of healers who will help them truly help them heal their bodies. I heard today from a very Christian woman. She said, I
Mm-hmm.
go to church and I meet women who've had stage 4 that goes away because they found the Lord. And I'm thinking, well, praise the Lord, whatever works. But the medical model has us thinking, oh, and they have us doubting ourselves. And you say, it's like playing with you ever put the radio on, you have static on it, you
Uh-huh.
turn it off immediately. But in our healthcare system, we keep trying to tune it in so we can hear it better.
Lynn, you're making me laugh and chuckle, and there's nothing I enjoy more than laughter for all the numerous reasons. But you also enlightened me here because I wasn't aware of what you just said. I had not done my research or read up on this. I wasn't aware that mammograms, and it's just another form, I guess, of an X-ray or whatever, has caused more deadly disease within the breast than anything else. I didn't know that. That's not something they broadcast. That's not something they advertise.
Well, here's what they also do. They deny things. The woman I talked to today said her breasts were damaged during a mammogram. More than one person has told me their breasts have been damaged, but you will not find that in the literature. Oh, no, we don't have any reports of that. You know why? Because you don't collect the data. If you don't collect the data, you don't have any data. But a lot of women will tell me how horrific it is. But the fact that your breasts are damaged, oh, I met a woman who was 40 years old. She said, I had a mammogram, and after that, my breasts were lower on my body. Now, is that an incentive to think
Oh
twice
my
about an
God.
exam?
Lynn, I tell you, that ties in, and you mentioned something they tell you. I always say the they people. Be wary of the they people because they don't have a title, but they're numerous and they're everywhere, the they people. But you also mentioned something else, this thing called faith. And people have different higher sources they believe in and they think it's going to do any and everything. It's like the miracle, whatever's going to happen. And I say more power to them. I don't knock it, but there needs to be a little bit more wisdom attached to that and a kind of knowing, and you doing your own kind of research. But I love it when she said, what did she say? Her breasts became higher. They weren't as
Oh no,
low.
she said she was very full busted. She had the mammogram, and they fell some. And the doctors, of course, they all deny it. Of course they're going to deny it. And she said, I knew my breasts were damaged, and I wish she'd never have another one.
Oh my God. I shouldn't be laughing, but I am because I find that comical in the best
I
way.
know, it's like
It's
black
all in love.
comedy. Right.
It can be. All right, we're going to take a quick little reset here. And then when I come back, let's talk a little bit more about, you mentioned it, but how you came to write this book and about this intimate conversation that you want to have more and more with women. So we're going to talk about that in breast wellness. So hold tight while we go to a quick little reset. And I love laughter, and thank you for giving it to me. I needed it today more than ever, maybe. That said, my audience out there, those of you here now and those who will come for the review or for the replay, let me say this to you. The group that you're invited to join, it's Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. This is a group of women across the board, every type of work or assignment you can imagine, retired, still working, a marvelous group of women. We want you to come and join us because we want you to shine. Your leadership and what you leave behind, it matters. Join the Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies Facebook group. And then when you join, collaborate with the other women there. Look into those that you think maybe are aligned with you and maybe those who are not, and make the connection. We're building a community here where you belong. And this is a community where you share, a collaborative, change, community. That's what we're all about. And then we have coming up too, and it's here for you, the Style Clarity Bundle. It's a 7-step confidence bundle. And then you get a private one-on-one clarity session with me. If you have any questions, concerns, I'm not sure, maybe, that's the best entree to meet and discuss what might be the entry to a whole new way of looking at style and your image. It's not shallow, it's not surface, and it's no way near superficial to have a sense of style and want to show up and be the best of the best of you at all times. And then my featured guest speaker, Lynn Fraley, she has a graphic, has all the information on here. Please take a screenshot and a snapshot and make sure that you connect with her. She's lifting the curtain on breast health. That's what we're talking about and much more, because there's so much more involved with this. The book, Cherish the Girls, is out and at Amazon. And here, Nurse Lynn is giving you or offering you an opportunity to claim your free preview of Cherish the Girls. You couldn't get a better opportunity to make a connection in that way. And that said, Lynn, let's talk now about what do you find. I ask you this in a different way. What have you found when you have these intimate conversations with women? I know it's different for each and every woman that you connect with because we're all unique and different. But what are some of the major concerns that you're able to share with them and lift the burden of the enlightenment of knowing more about it that you find?
Let's start with insurance because it's always
Ooh.
about the money. It's the money. Who's going to cover it? So women will go ahead. So here's where business takes it. I won't even be more graphic than that, but businesses pour billions of dollars into health insurance that goes nowhere. In fact, they have no idea that they're funding programs and funding services and ignoring other services that their employees could be helped with. Women get mammograms because insurance covers it. Women get repeat mammograms because something might be a problem. And then it turns out they pay out of pocket for a lot of those things and with all the fear and dread. So I have to come back to money, Joy. People say, well, who's going to pay for it? Who's going to pay for an alternative? First of all, you have to stop thinking you got a problem. You just have to get your head wrapped around the fact that your body's whole and intact. And if something shows up, you can manage it. But the fact that insurance companies or that businesses don't fund better education, they have wellness programs. They never talk about breast wellness. And what are women concerned about? The breast wellness. And what are they getting exams for? It's a whole, it's like almost like something behind the curtain, like you say, like that graphic had behind the curtain. So to me, a lot of it's about the money because people can hold on to the money, but businesses are short-sighted and not helping their employees be more educated about wellness in a much more holistic way and not just trust your doctor. Of course, you trust your doctor, but you find the right doctor who you can work with, who you can trust.
Well,
That's a
Lynn, it's only at this time and stage in my life, and I'm so happy to be a happy senior because the awakening and the awareness of so much that I was not privy to in my earlier years, I realize now, and there's no judgment, but it's about money, 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 money. And so many people want to cover that up with their integrity, their honesty, their this and their that, and it's just a fraud in so many ways. That said, I want you to share with us how you're tying in, because I know this is a big topic with you, and I'm beginning to see it and understand it a wee bit, and I'm going to mention that and why in a moment. But why do you think that wearing bras, and especially bras that have a wiring in them, is so deadly? How have you found that to be something that most women, and then I've heard you say to me, and I puzzle with that, we don't really need to be wearing bras. So speak to that a wee bit. Share with us about that because that's a biggie.
Well, the first question is that people say, "Oh, I'm so large-breasted." Well, okay, I'll have a suggestion. Take a picture of yourself or go in front of the mirror, put on your favorite bra, go back and put on a favorite camisole or something and see how much different you really look. I mean, people think they're just going to be obscene or they're going to be looking lewd if they don't have bras on. The truth is, when was compression ever good for the body?
Mm-hmm.
You have red marks on your back. You have red marks on your
Oh,
shoulder. You have divots in your shoulder. You have compression around the side of your breast. We know about lymph because cancer is found in the lymph nodes. And then they kill the messenger by taking out the lymph nodes when they can clear the lymph nodes. But if you think about the pressure of the bra against the side of the chest, why are we compressing lymph and then wondering if we're going to end up with cancer in the lymph? It's thinking it through, but not the compression at all. And the younger generation are saying a lot more no to bras. What's the point? And a lot of women have their breasts are perfectly fine. You would not even know they didn't have a bra. And ask me why I have a wardrobe of vests and jackets. You put a vest or jacket on or a scarf, no one knows if you have anything on.
well, here's where I adore you, but I'm going to beg to differ a wee bit. I know you. I know what you're going to come back to me with, and I like the way you ended it with jackets and cardigans and sweaters and so on and so forth over a top. But what's bad, not bad, but what's not good, I think, about wearing, and this is where the education has to come. You think that, again, back to this thing called common sense, going without a bra with a top on and the nipples are showing. I don't see anything modest about that or appealing. But when you mentioned it, you said you could put, I think you mentioned to me, you can put tape or something across the breast. And also, I think about Whoopi Goldberg. Most everybody knows and adores her in different ways because she, so many years ago, as you well know, Lynn, she decided, I don't like bras. I'm not wearing bras. Just let them hang down to my knees. I don't care. It's all right. But she wears exactly the way you ended with. She comes out with jackets and shawls and sweaters and things she wears over. And unless you really knew that, you wouldn't kind of know. But how do you get women to know, and especially our younger generation? Because I see far too many of them not wearing a bra where their nipples are showing. So how do we educate, enlighten, and inform them that there's nothing sexy about that?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of taste. And you being in the fashion industry, you know that there are clothing that if you don't have a good bra, forget it. You know,
Yes.
I'm not into saying just look lewd. I'm older. What can I say? I have this opinion about looking proper and looking more modest. You can
Mm-hmm.
get great tape that'll flatten the nipple. And I just say use judgment, use good taste. There's nothing sexy to me about nipples showing through the outfit. What can I say? That's not an issue for me. If women love that, that's their form of self-expression. But for darn sure, and if you want to have a décolletage, have the push-up bra, have that for a special occasion, enjoy it, but not daily and when you take it off, massage your breast, massage wherever there's been pressure.
Well, you mentioned about the weight and the back and and I had I have so many favorite aunts because I fall in love with people, especially people who are kind, generous, and loving to me. And my aunt had breasts. I mean, they were humongous. And we used to always joke that my uncle fell in love with her because of the breasts, that kind of thing. Corny, but kind of realistic at the time. But she was always complaining about back pain, back pain. So how does now, today, you see and hear a lot about bras that are made without any wiring. How do you support, or do you say they're okay to wear if you don't want to wear?
Well, I haven't had an issue. I'm relatively small breasted, so I never had the issue of having to manage large breasts, except when I was a little bit heavier, but I'm, never an issue.
Yeah,
My
me either.
understanding is that women who have back pain, they just haven't developed the muscles for it, that if they actually toughed it through or cultivated their muscles, they wouldn't have the back pain. I don't think we're made to have bodies that don't function properly.
Ooh, that's a biggie. I
It's a
like
big
that.
one. And the wires, they're cosmetic. I mean, now come on, they can do a lot of things that are strong that don't have wires in them, but you don't want the compression.
Yes, I get that. I understand that. I
Mm.
think, like everything else, Lynn, and I know you agree with this being a Libra, that everything is a matter of choice, getting the right education, knowing which way and route to take, contingent upon your body and what you want from it, and then doing what's right for you. It'll be different for each and every one. And that leads me to what you gave me, which I really love, how you build a support team. That's important. I think I get the feeling that's what you're trying to do. Family, advocates, people who support you and understand what you're about and why you're about it, who will be part of your support team. So where do you suggest that women who want to know more, need to know more, should go? I know you're part of the journey of this, but what do you think when it comes to health and coaching and so on? What would you suggest that women do?
Well, I absolutely suggest that they honor their intuition. And you
Mm,
can tell that I live on a street that has some traffic.
that's okay.
If allowing their intuition, just knowing their own truth and being quiet enough with themselves that they just are familiar with their own body and that they trust their body and that they are aligned with people who support that trust and are not undermined by well-meaning people who say, "Oh, my so and so died of this, and you should take care of it." The truth is, and you didn't ask me this, but I've never asked anyone who had a relative, a friend, someone who they knew who had breast cancer and died. Never once did I ask them, do you think they died of the treatment? They always said yes. And in fact, some people say people die from cancer treatment, they don't die from cancer. I'm not an oncologist. I don't give medical advice, but I think it's really important that people stay in the lane where they feel safe and they feel supported. And you will find people will abandon you. You'll say, "Oh, you're just too crazy. You're too stupid. You're too ignorant. My doctor says," and I say, "Bless their doctor. You do what you need to do." But there's a time for divorce. You divorce people who will undermine you.
Yeah.
And you have your own community of women right there. I bet there could be more honest communications among women for this because they're afraid to say that something happened bad because they went to their doctor. Because we're not saying medicine's bad. We're just saying find the right fit for you, find the right
Exactly.
provider for you.
Exactly. Well said. Well said. Because I think that the bottom baseline here, Lynn, is that we as women, for all the different reasons, back in the day with the corsets and everything else, and now with bras with the wire, there are many ways that you have to tune in and listen to your body and then find whoever goes outside of the box, whoever thinks a wee bit different and is attempting to implement something new, they're always called crazy. How many people do we know today that we hold up in admiration and applaud them that back in the day they were considered crazy somewhat? I mean, it's just bizarre. I applaud the work you're doing. I think that it's beyond needed, but I think the way you're going about it, as you share with me some other more intimate points, and the way that you're having conversations with women today, I think is more than powerful. And I salute you and I say, whatever you do, keep soaring, keep rising, keep journeying on. What do you want to leave us with? What pearls of wisdom? What takeaway? What do you want people to take away from our conversation today that hopefully will impact them? We have your graphic, which explains and shares with them how they can connect with you. But what do you want them to leave with? What do you want them to take away?
I want the big takeaway to be trust that your body knows how to heal,
Ooh,
given the right conditions, and that your body is different than someone else's body, and your genetics are different than someone else's body. You are not programmed for disease, you are programmed for health, and you're programmed for vitality. And it's your mission to find what's going to work for you, and you don't need to give up. And I don't care what the diagnosis is, that's someone's opinion. People have survived many different kinds of atrocities and terrible conditions because they found the right set of supportive environment, care providers, prayer, whatever works for you. But absolutely do not be demoralized by any condition. I like the expression, only the unlucky get diagnosed. I don't run around looking for a diagnosis because that affects me energetically. So the idea of looking for, I just want the diagnosis. You may not want that diagnosis. You may want to know that your body's healthy and that whatever you do find, you treat in the most neutral way possible. You don't allow that to take over your energy. So you respect your energy. Endless energy is one of my expressions.
I think that's the best close that you could have given us. You gave us so much there in a nutshell. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm honored that you shared this information with us today. My engineer is going to shoot you in the green room, and I'll be with you in just a second. Thank you, thank you,
I'm
thank
honored
you.
to have been with you so much. Thank you so much, Joy.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Let me just say this. Lynn Fraley, Nurse Lynn, left us with some golden platinum nuggets. Trust your body, listen to it, and acknowledge it. Because true empowerment only comes when you're able to liberate yourself with the truth, your truth, not someone else's. Thank you for spending time with us today. I appreciate you, your energy, and your presence always. The takeaway I've already given you: trust your body, honor your body. Let me leave you with that gem which Lynn shared with us. And I'm going to repeat myself: empowerment means nothing without liberation. And I invite you to watch our next week's episode. I'm taking a little bit of a hiatus here, but we're going to be away also for the month of December. But we'll be back with you full force in January 2026. So subscribe to joyruffin.com/styleclarity. Like, comment, hit the bell. Leave me your comments and subscribe. We're looking for followers, people who want to be a part of a great community. Join me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, Joy Ruffin Fashioning Femininity, Style, and Truth, for more soulful conversations. And as I say to you always, my League of Eagles, I've labeled you a team of eagles because that's who you are. You are the new examples of front runners, the pioneers. Thank you for sharing the space and time with us today. Lynn left us with lots of golden nuggets. So until the next time, you be well, take care, stay radiant, stay confident, spread those wings and soar, and let your light shine. Always the best. My love to you, from my heart to yours. Much love. Cheers.